Hi, I'm Mark. This is another episode of Lunch Counter Conversations, and today I'm here talking with my friend Kylee Ball, and Kylee is Associate Vice President for Student Engagement. And Kylee, it's great to have you here. Welcome.
Thank
You're
you.
familiar with this space.
I
You
am.
spend a lot of time here with students, I know.
Yes.
So as you know, NNU is an intentionally Christian university, and we're also a liberal arts university. So what's the significance of that, in essence, being a Christian liberal arts university?
Yeah. I think as a student, I didn't know as I came in 20 some years ago.
Yeah.
And I think what I quickly learned in my earth science class, from my human biology class to I was an undergrad, was youth ministry.
Yeah.
All aspects of these professors who loved Jesus were ministering in ways through all of those classes. And so being distinctly Christian and being liberal arts, where we get to experience and participate in all sorts of classes that I might not have picked or known to participate in. Really, I learned what reflections of God was in all those different professions. It weaved together more than I knew it could. I remember taking a Renaissance art history class. I can't draw. We had to do workbooks and draw. That's one of the books I've kept since college. It's one that I, would never have known that professor otherwise, but became something that I learned about how the story of God was shared through art during this very interesting time period in our history. And I think that those parts were really, I didn't know I was learning on the side. It was like this extra part that I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be good at drawing. That didn't matter. I learned about how God was using people who could throughout history.
Yeah, wow, that's fascinating. That's fascinating. So our students, as you know, come from really a variety of faith backgrounds. You could probably fill in the blank with just about anything. So from your perspective, how does NNU and the NNU experience encourage students on their faith journey?
Yeah, I mean, I can think back to even my wide variety of friends today from my college experience, and then being a resident director and living with students for 10 years throughout my adulthood. It really encouraged, from what I saw, students who had different backgrounds or different experience or different faith traditions to engage in conversation, give platforms and ways to have those conversations where they might have been more folded in with their own church or family understanding. It created kind of like this buffet of conversation in all these different avenues throughout meals, throughout playing on campus or going over to the library, where I think that it was a place that you could hear and learn, stand side by side with someone who might think or experience something in a new or different way, and you're like, oh my goodness, God met you here in this time period. Tell me more about that. And for me, I didn't grow up in the church, and I came in, I'd never had a curfew really, and we don't have curfew anymore, but I had a curfew for the first time really. I had this accountability in a different way that I'd never experienced, and people asking questions I had never really been asked, which at first is kind of like, oh, you care about that or you're interested in those parts, but I got to watch families engage in ways that I'd never seen families engage, because it was it wasn't just you met students, you got to go home. I went to Bend, Oregon for Thanksgiving my first year.
Wow.
And I went to Porterville, California for Easter one year, and got to engage in these different families as well that were from all over. And that was a really interesting aspect that I think is still happening. I think students I was Alaskan, so that's why I had to kind of, travel for holidays.
Right.
But I think that it's welcoming. It's a place yes, you're welcome. Come see how we do life.
Yeah. So as you think about kind of the NNU experience from your perspective in student life, how do you feel like we prepare students for life after college, for what's next?
I think some of that happens, in very natural ways of when they come in and learning and kind of figuring out their life as a first-year student, away from their parents. Our housing is a little bit more single room, roommate, and lobby areas, where they're kind of learning how to make sure they wake up for breakfast time and make sure they're getting to class. To by the end of college, having a kitchen, a bathroom that they clean themselves, some independence, some ways that they engage in that community building. From the beginning, there's a lot of we kind of set the table for engagement, where by the end, through the RDs, through student life, through even SGA students as they do activities, start including and saying, you're a leader as well. You're going to be building your own fun. You're going to be decorating your own home, cleaning your own space. And I think that we help kind of hand that off every year in a new way.
Yeah. Wow, that's cool. So,
some students never know that you can't put dish soap in the dishwasher.
Oh.
It's things like that it's going to bubble up and go everywhere.
Might be a hard lesson to learn,
or that
though.
You have to put laundry soap in the washer. It doesn't just dispense on its own. They might have never washed laundry. And we get to be part of that growth experience.
And it doesn't fold itself.
It doesn't.
Yeah. Wow, what a disappointment. So we hear students kind of describe N&U as different. They sometimes say, we do college different around here. How do you think we do college different?
I think that, I know it's said over and over again and time again, the community that surrounds students, the way that I know as a staff member in student life that we strategically think, how is Mark feeling connected? And what's going on, are things going okay? And we really hope and encourage and surround in a way that's sometimes more hands-on if we have students who have grandparent that passes away.
Yeah. Not
to steal or stifle independence and growth.
Sure.
But going and stepping into adulthood and independence is an adventure, and it's hard, it's beautiful. But when you step out and you have no kind of landing space or people to kind of help guide and navigate, what's adulting 101? I don't know.
Yeah.
So I think within the aspect of student life and how we do that, it's really paying attention to the community. And then for students, how I hope they experience it is, we literally look at their housing forms and who might match and do well together. We get to be a part of those roommate experiences.
Yeah.
And then also saying, it's hard to live with someone. When it doesn't work, we're going to enter into that conversation with you as you need and we want you to feel safe and comfortable where you're living.
Yeah.
So I think that there's that part of that it's really a strategic thought in the aspect of even just how you live and get to be a part of the community. And I really think that part where students come from lots of different backgrounds, but that they know that their safety, that their spiritual health, their emotional health, their academic health, that holistic picture is really encouraged and surrounded. And I think there's lots of ways in the world out there that teaches us how to cope with things, or how to deal with the hard and how to celebrate the good. And we say for these 4 years, 5 years, for however long you are here, we're going to kind of help you engage in a community life that gives you ways to cope with the good and cope with the bad.
Yeah.
In really uplifting ways, in ways that people are going to mourn with you and rejoice with you. And I think that that's been a beautiful picture to watch over the years for me.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. Well, hey, thanks for being here, for just sitting down and talking a little bit. This has been good. It's been fun.